It may come as a surprise, but frequently consuming the wrong type of nuts can increase your risk of cardiovascular disease by up to 48%, especially if you're over 60. There's solid reasoning behind this figure based on research published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology, which spanned several years. The alarming part is that some of the most popular nuts found in kitchen cabinets can quietly raise blood pressure, cause inflammation, clog arteries, and even worsen cognitive decline. Many seniors eat these nuts thinking they're healthy, but one specific nut, whose identity will be revealed later, has been linked to high concentrations of a toxic substance. When consumed regularly, it can damage the liver, kidneys, and brain function. You probably already have this nut in your pantry, often praised by low-carb dieters, but it could be causing lasting harm to aging bodies. Don't worry, we've got you covered. In this video, you'll find the most comprehensive guide to nut consumption, including which ones are safest for your heart, best for your brain, and which ones you should avoid at all costs. Be sure to watch until the end because there's a dark truth about the most dangerous nut that very few people talk about, and it could be harming your health without you even realizing it. If you find this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Without further ado, here are the 4 types of nuts that people over 60 should include in their diets. Fourth on the list, almonds, the bone-strengthening powerhouse. One of the best foods for an aging body, almonds are rich in calcium and vitamin E, which work together to keep bones strong. As we age, fractures become more likely to cause serious complications because our bones naturally become more porous and brittle. After age 60, natural bone loss accelerates, but eating just a quarter cup of almonds daily can help slow it down by providing approximately 97 milligrams of calcium. Not only are almonds rich in calcium, but they also contain magnesium, a mineral that honestly many elderly individuals lack. This makes almonds unique, as magnesium acts as a transporter, preventing calcium from damaging arteries and instead, directing it to the bones. The monounsaturated fats in almonds also benefit heart health by lowering bad LDL cholesterol levels, which is crucial since the risk of cardiovascular disease increases with age. For seniors, I recommend a daily serving of 15 to 20 almonds, ideally raw or dry roasted without salt. Almonds are also great for combating constipation due to their high fiber content, about 3.5 grams per serving, which is a common issue for nearly 40% of the elderly population. Studies conducted by researchers at Tufts University show that almonds can help prevent oxidative damage to brain cells, which, many people fear occurs with aging. Look for almonds with their skins on, as they contain flavonoids that, when combined with vitamin E, make them twice as powerful as an antioxidant. A word of caution: almonds can pose a choking hazard for elderly individuals with swallowing difficulties, so be sure to chew them thoroughly before eating. Third on the list, walnuts, the nut that boosts cognitive function. Resembling the human brain, the organ they nourish, walnuts stand out as one of the best brain foods for seniors. These extraordinary nuts are the richest source of plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, specifically alpha-linolenic acid, compared to any other popular nut. This is highly significant for aging brains, as omega-3s aid in neurotransmission and maintain the integrity of brain cell membranes. Seniors who consumed just 1.5 ounces of walnuts daily for 8 weeks showed significant improvements in cognitive processing speed and mental flexibility, according to a study published in the Journal of Nutrition. Walnuts' unique polyphenolic compounds can cross the blood-brain barrier, combating inflammation in neural tissues directly and potentially slowing the progression of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia. What many don't know is that walnuts also contain melatonin, levels of which naturally drop with age, leading to sleep problems for many seniors. Some find that eating a handful of walnuts before bed helps them sleep better. Walnuts' combination of arginine, an amino acid that promotes blood vessel function, and polyphenols, which reduce oxidative stress, also makes them incredibly beneficial for cardiovascular health. For optimal benefits, store walnuts in the fridge to preserve their delicate oils and aim to eat 7 or 9 halves daily. As a bonus, cracking them yourself can help keep fine motor skills sharp. Second on the list, pistachios, an excellent way to manage blood pressure. Among the health benefits of nuts for seniors, pistachios are perhaps the most underrated, especially for regulating blood pressure. Pistachios are unique because they have low sodium content and high potassium content, around 285 milligrams per serving, making them a healthy snack option. This mineral balance is especially important for seniors because it helps prevent the kidneys from retaining salt, potentially lowering systolic blood pressure by 3 to 5 points, similar to some prescription medications, but without the negative side effects. Additionally, pistachios contain lutein and zeaxanthin, carotenoids that protect against age-related macular degeneration, the leading cause of vision loss in individuals over 60. Seniors can enjoy the satisfying crunch of pistachios without worrying about damaging their teeth or gums, unlike harder nuts. The act of shelling pistachios naturally slows down consumption, offering a mindful eating experience that can be both calming and stimulating for cognitive function. The visible empty shells serve as a visual cue for portion control, helping seniors regulate their intake. If arthritis in your hands makes shelling difficult, look for pistachios that are partially opened. Aim for about 49 pistachios daily, or roughly 1 ounce of unsalted or lightly salted pistachios. For the 25% of Americans over 60 with diabetes, or the 48% with prediabetes, the 3 grams of fiber per ounce in pistachios can help regulate blood sugar levels. First place goes to Brazil nuts, a remedy for thyroid issues. We ranked Brazil nuts first because they support thyroid function, an important yet sometimes overlooked aspect of aging well. Just one Brazil nut contains 96 micrograms of selenium, 137% of the daily requirement, making them the richest known source of selenium. Thyroid disorders affect up to 20% of people over 60, often going untreated because symptoms are mistaken for normal aging. Selenium, abundant in Brazil nuts, is crucial for activating thyroid hormones, which regulate energy production, metabolism, and mood. In addition to supporting the thyroid, the specific fatty acids in Brazil nuts help preserve myelin, the protective sheath around nerve cells that often deteriorates with age. This myelin maintenance may help seniors maintain reflexes, reaction times, and cognitive processing speeds. The selenium in Brazil nuts is organically bound, making it more bioavailable than synthetic selenium supplements. Brazil nuts are so potent that you only need a few to reap their benefits. Their rich, creamy texture makes even small amounts enjoyable. However, I advise seniors to consume no more than 1 or 2 Brazil nuts daily due to the potential risks of selenium toxicity. When shopping, look for nuts still in their shells, as this natural packaging preserves nutrients longer. Store them in the fridge to prevent rancidity due to their high fat content. Brazil nuts also offer fiber and natural oils that aid digestion, making them a great alternative for seniors suffering from constipation. Many older adults turn to less nutritious snacks, but Brazil nuts provide a naturally sweet and buttery option. Recent evidence suggests that antioxidants in Brazil nuts may slow the natural shortening of telomeres, the caps on chromosomes that shrink with age, influencing cellular aging. Now, let's discuss the nuts that seniors should avoid or, consume with caution. Fourth on the avoid list, peanuts. Despite their widespread use, peanuts pose problems for many seniors. First, you should know that peanuts aren't true nuts. They're actually legumes grown underground. This makes them susceptible to mold and aflatoxins, which are toxic compounds produced by certain molds that can harm the liver, and unfortunately increase cancer risk. As we age, our body's detoxification mechanisms weaken, making this risk even more concerning for seniors. Peanuts also contain proteins that can trigger inflammatory responses in some individuals, even if they don't have a true allergy. Aging individuals are already at higher risk for joint pain, cardiovascular stress, and cognitive decline, and this low-grade inflammation can really worsen all three. Most Americans already consume excessive omega-6 fatty acids compared to anti-inflammatory omega-3s, and peanuts' high omega-6 content makes this imbalance worse. Many doctors fail to warn elderly patients about the potentially dangerous interaction between peanuts and blood thinners like warfarin, due to peanuts' vitamin K content. Commercial peanut butters often contain hydrogenated oils, extra sodium and sugars, and all of these can worsen problems for aging cardiovascular systems. Improper storage can cause peanuts to go rancid, producing harmful free radicals. Dry roasting peanuts for commercial use also produces acrylamide, a chemical with potential cognitive degrading effects, a concern for those already worried about memory loss. Even if you've been eating peanuts regularly without noticeable side effects, switching to one of our recommended nuts a few days a week can help you get essential nutrients while reducing exposure to harmful substances. Third, on the avoid list, cashews. Because of their high carbohydrate content and glycemic impact, cashews pose a special risk to seniors. They contain fewer protective fibers and honestly significantly more carbs, about 9 grams per ounce, than true tree nuts. This is particularly problematic for the 1 in 4 people over 60 with diabetes, and the almost half with prediabetes, since it can cause harmful blood sugar spikes. Cashews' smooth shape also poses a choking hazard, especially for folks with swallowing issues. Nutritionally, cashews aren't ideal because they contain oxalates, which are chemicals that bind to calcium in the gut and reduce calcium absorption, a major issue for seniors already at risk of osteoporosis. For those prone to kidney stones, the risk increases dramatically after age 60 due to these same oxalates. Processing cashews involves removing urushiol, a toxic chemical also found in poison ivy, and this process actually strips away much of their nutritional value. Many store-bought cashews are oil-roasted and heavily salted, adding unhealthy fats and sodium that can really strain the heart and blood pressure. Cashews also contain enzyme inhibitors that hinder protein digestion, which is a problem for seniors who already struggle with digestion and nutrient absorption. And because of their creamy texture, it's just so easy to overconsume them, contributing to weight gain during a life stage when maintaining a healthy weight becomes increasingly challenging. Second on the avoid list, macadamia nuts. Despite their exquisite flavor, macadamia nuts pose a significant health risk to seniors due to their extremely high calorie density, about 200 calories per ounce. Metabolic rates inevitably decline with age, making weight management even more challenging for older adults. Macadamia nuts' extraordinarily high fat content, about 22 grams per ounce, can trigger painful episodes for the 15% of seniors with asymptomatic gallstones. They also have one of the highest saturated fat contents among nuts, about 3 grams per ounce, which can raise LDL cholesterol levels, a concern for many elderly individuals. Their density and hardness pose a threat to seniors' oral health, especially for those with crowns, bridges, or weakened teeth. Enamel weakens with age due to wear and reduced calcium absorption, making this an even greater issue after 60. Practically speaking, macadamia nuts are among the most expensive nuts, leading cost-conscious seniors to opt for cheaper varieties that are more likely to be rancid or improperly stored, exposing them to harmful oxidized fats. Commercially available macadamia nuts are often oil-roasted and excessively salted, adding more sodium and damaged fats. Their rich, buttery flavor can lead to overeating, especially for older adults with less refined tastes. Many seniors consume macadamia nuts thinking they're benefiting their hearts. But research highlighting the cardiovascular benefits of nuts has largely ignored or downplayed high-fat nuts like macadamias. Finally, the most troublesome nut, pine nuts. Pine nuts interact with over 60% of medications prescribed to seniors, potentially reducing drug effectiveness or causing harmful side effects. This is especially concerning with statins, antidepressants, and blood pressure medications commonly prescribed to people over 60. Pine nut syndrome is another worry. It causes pine nuts to impart a bitter metallic taste that can last for weeks after consumption. While this may seem minor, it can have disastrous effects on older adults, as taste alterations correlate with decreased appetite and nutritional status. Studies show that up to 42% of affected individuals experience significant weight loss. Pine nuts are also calorie-dense and high in polyunsaturated fats, which can oxidize and produce inflammatory compounds, a concern for seniors already dealing with inflammatory conditions like arthritis. Their small size and slippery texture pose an aspiration risk, especially for those with swallowing difficulties or dry mouth, a problem for over 70% of seniors taking multiple medications. Enzyme inhibitors in pine nuts can impede protein digestion, compounding the natural decline in protein absorption that occurs with age. New research also links certain chemicals in pine nuts to accelerated age-related macular degeneration, the leading cause of vision loss in seniors after age 60. Dietary choices regarding which nuts to eat and which to avoid can profoundly affect health, vitality, and brain function in later years. Remember, consistent application of small changes yields significant long-term results. Now it's your turn to speak up. Have dietary changes, such as adding or removing specific nuts, impacted your health? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell for more informative content like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.